a minute or so before we get started. This is going to be one of my favorites that we've done so far. I appreciate everybody reaching out and just love the feedback from the previous webinars. If you've missed any of the previous webinars, we'll drop the links in here, and obviously you should be getting emails with those as well. But the reason we structure the webinar series like this is because they kind of build on each other, right? So the first webinar was about a value proposition, like how can we genuinely believe in who we are and what we do. That way the client doesn't see our product is the same as another mortgage professional. The second is the economics, right? Because it's really hard to run a great mortgage business without the appropriate economics and transparency. Third is, it's really hard to run a good business also if you cannot generate or having a hard time generating leads or helping clients and creating conversations. And then next week or next month will be technology, and we will have just a host of information about how to create technology to scale. So we'll get into that. And the last one's going to be about community and how important that is. So, Kristen, are we bringing in Jess here?
Yes.
It looks like she might be under me. Looks like she might be Ryan Grant.
Okay, then you should be good to go. Let me triple check that for you. No wonder I couldn't find you in the list, Jess. We're all Ryan today.
All right, team. So let's go ahead and get started. I will begin by just saying how excited I am about this call, really since the beginning of my career, actually. When I first started in 2011, I had never met a realtor. I'd never done a purchase loan. I had no database of clients, and I just didn't really have any clue how to get business. So my manager at the time, he just said, "Oh, just go meet realtors or have them refer you clients." And it sounded easy, but it definitely wasn't, right? I did that. I just kept pursuing it. I was able to make good enough relationships with a lot of real estate agents to really grow a great business. And if you're anything like me, you probably had one or two really good realtor partners, but a lot of your business came from a wide range of agents that maybe sent you one or two clients a year. And if you have enough, if you have hundreds of agents that are doing that, you can have a really good business, right? But for most of us, the answer has been the same for years, right? We wait, we hope the agent calls, we pray the builder brings in a client, cross our fingers that a financial advisor will drop our name. And yes, that model worked for a very long time. But there is a truth that we need to confront today, which is if we're relying on someone else to grow our business, we're not actually running a business, we're just surviving in somebody else's. And if you haven't noticed, right, there's been a pretty big phenomenon shift in our business, right? Many mortgage professionals have seen a pretty substantial decline in the referrals they're getting. And it's just a math problem, right? It doesn't mean you're any worse today than you were 5 years ago. It's just statistics. So, what used to be really good sources of business are actually problems now. And I'll explain. So, 74% of real estate agents didn't even close one transaction in 2024, right? That means that we are talking to real estate professionals that just don't have an opportunity to really partner with us in our business. 92% of real estate is done by the top 10% of agents. And those agents are all looking for deeper, more meaningful connections with lenders, business partnerships, lead platforms, economic participation. They're just kind of moving up funnel a bit. Financial planners, right? They don't want their clients to give up their low rates. So they're maybe referring HELOCs, but unfortunately, a lot of lenders don't have access to even an appropriate HELOC product to offer their clients, which is unfortunate. Builders have a lot of in-house lenders, hard to crack that code. Database of clients, right? They're pretty locked into low rates. And statistically, 9 out of 10 people think it's a bad time to buy a home because rates are too high. So those were all of our sources previously, right? So if we really want our careers to thrive and we don't just want to ride the same wave as everybody else, and more importantly, if we really want to make a substantial impact on the communities we serve, we can't keep running the same playbook. So it's 2025, right? We as mortgage professionals, we need to be generating our own business, right? We need to get to the client first. We need to partner with the absolute best agents, financial planners, and builders in our market. That way we can have something to bring to the table, right? And so this is why I'm so excited to introduce you to our special guest speaker today, Jessica Manna. It looks like, is Jess with us?
She's having a little technical difficulty. She's signing back in as her rather
Oh,
than
okay.
you based on a little link issue. So keep rolling for us and we're
All
going
right.
to dive in.
Well, yeah, while Jess is jumping back on, just give you an introduction. So Jess has spent over 20 years in mortgage marketing, specializing in online lead generation, conversion, marketing technology. She was also previously the president of digital strategy at Fairway. She led the acquisition of the home.com domain. Not only a marketing or a Housing Wire marketing leader, but she's a two-time Housing Wire Tech 100 award winner for marketing technology. Her team has been awarded with 14 prestigious industry marketing awards. And she's not only a Housing Wire woman of influence, but someone who we genuinely believe can help us all help more families. She can help us change the financial trajectory of the families that we serve, and really make an impact in the communities where we offer our services. So for those of you who do not know, we recently partnered with Jess and her team, where she is the VP of Growth for Better and Neo. And she has just been an incredibly invaluable partner to help us generate leads all over the country. And so when you learn this information from Jess that she's going to offer you today, um, I want you to imagine like walking into a meeting with the number one agent or builder in your market, right? Not to ask for business, but to interview them, right? To see if they would be a good partner to earn your business. That's the shift here, right? That's the different conversation and a perspective shift that will create massive opportunity, right? So keep in mind, there are other mortgage companies that offer leads, but most of those leads are bought, right? They're bought from third parties. They're pretty garbage leads that they actually end up wasting the agent's time. And a lot of mortgage companies will also have real estate companies, right? So they ask for 30 to 40% of agents' commission. That's not what we're going to teach you today, right? We're going to teach you how to generate exclusive leads that you can curate and pre-approve and then offer to your agents at full commission, right? They don't have to share in that. And please trust me, like you will want to stay till the end of this presentation, because at the end of the presentation, we're going to give you a link. There's going to be a QR code, and you can see how many exclusive purchase leads are being generated in the market you're in right now. And I think that's just going to be really important for you to have the information so you can talk to your real estate partners and just analyze the opportunity that may exist. So without further ado, if Jess is ready, let's see. Kristen, do we have Jess with us?
We do. She's under the name Katie.
That is
We just
strange.
need to make Katie host.
Okay, let's do that.
Jess, can you unmute for us? That might help us a little bit too.
Looks like she might be under you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Promote to panelist.
Zoom is just making us dance around a little bit today.
All right, Jess, you should be on. If you want to, is your camera and mute button. There we
Right.
go.
Yay.
Super. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Give me 1 second. Let me just, Katie, you got to give me permission to share. I think you may either need to make me a host or let me share. While we do that, Ryan, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. There's so much to talk about today. We're really going to pack it in and go super fast. But I would say, what we're going to talk about today is your lead gen playbook for 2025. And look, I've been in the mortgage industry for 21 years. And through that time, we've seen a lot of change, right? Remember the early 2000s, and then Dodd-Frank, and like all of the changes we've seen year by year. I would say the most change we're ever going to experience, at least on the marketing side, is going to be right here in 2025. And it is because AI is changing literally everything. It's changing everything throughout all businesses, from the C-suite down to everybody's individual roles. But it's changing so much in marketing, and it's putting so much empowerment into the hands of every loan officer, every person out there, every real estate agent, that there's so much you can do today that you were never able to do before. So let's jump into it. And let's see here. Give me 1 second, you guys. This is not the day for technology, but trust me, we're a tech company. All right, there it is. Okay, cool. Let's get into it, friends. So, like I said, lots has changed, and we're going to go through what the modern playbook is in 2025 and how how that's super different than how the marketing playbook has been. Two things we're going to discuss: key trends. These are both trends in the mortgage, housing, real estate industry, as well as big trends in lead generation, performance marketing, paid media, advertising, etc. There are going to be some things in it that everybody here can do for themselves, and there are going to be some things that really your company has to do for you. I think of this as Air Force versus infantry, right? There's things that you can do boots on the ground, and there's things that you just need your company to be able to do for you. Legal and compliance would kill me if I didn't give you a TLDR disclaimer. So what I'll say is that there's a lot in here, and there's also a lot to consider for your legal and compliance teams. There's intellectual property and TCPA and do not call and all sorts of special considerations around AI these days. So it's complicated. Get help. Don't just take action on this, but consult your company policies and the teams who know how to navigate this stuff for you. So influencers. Influencers is a really big trend, and it's been a trend for a while, but the trend has really shifted. Remember this? The trend of influencers used to be paying millions of dollars for big named influencers and spokespersons. Dave Ramsey, right? Like lots of these phenomenal, finance professionals or anybody else that can lend credibility to your brand. Today's influencers and user generated content is lending similar third party trust to you as an originator, to your agents, to your builders, et cetera, but really coming from an individual perspective. So let's just listen to the new way, you
couldn't
guys.
recommend Mike and his team enough. Mike and his team were incredible to work with in helping us purchase our first home.
All right, we're not going to go through it, but really it's about having many different people talk about you more than you're talking about yourself. Many different types of borrowers at different life stages, different backgrounds, different problems that you've solved, not just clients and customers, but also your partners. And if you're a branch manager, quite frankly, your loan officers, and why it's great to be on your team. So how do you do it today? How do you create a ton of this kind of content? How do you do it quickly and at scale to tell powerful stories? It's the old way was always cost prohibitive. It was something that an individual originator could never do on their own, and it reached a really narrow audience. So what we're going to go through is how to do this today with the modern tools that are available. It gives you the authenticity that you need and also helps to solve the problem that today's algorithms are presenting us with, and that is that the algorithms are hungry for an endless supply of content. And in the old world, if you published one or two videos a week, that was great. Now they're wearing out so quickly. So if you're depending on somebody else's audience and somebody else's creative, there's just not enough of it today. So authentic connections, reach niche audiences, be cost effective, and like I said, the endless variety of creatives. So you can do this today with lots of different AI tools. I've just picked a couple of my favorite. Bill is actually not an AI tool, but if you want real human creators that take your idea or your script and turn it into user-generated content that you can put on YouTube Shorts or Instagram or TikTok, Billo is a great option. You pay a monthly fee and you can get a lot of content at a really quick turn. You could use a service called Video Peel and actually have your own partners and your own clients film videos about you and working with you and do it in a really scalable way. You could do AI commercials. Let's say you have a new loan product to talk about. Well, Pipit is a great solution to creating AI generated commercials, automatically pulling in your brand assets and creating very quick and simple commercials at scale on a variety of platforms. And then AI creators. So what you just watched in the beginning was actually an AI generated video. And I'm going to show you very quickly how you can do this yourself in under 2 minutes. So in order to create that video that you saw, we just went to Zillow, we pulled in the first review that we found, went over to Hey Jen, dropped in the testimonial, went and found an avatar, and in 2 minutes, you have a user-generated testimonial style video. That's one use case of it. There's lots of different ways you can leverage video like this with different types of scripts or different types of content. But in 2 minutes, you're out the door and done and can satisfy those hungry algos. All right. Big trend number 2 is voice AI. So voice and conversational AI is rapidly growing. It's just being driven and fueled by all of our adoption to the smart speakers, to the voice assistants, to more advanced chatbot driven interactions, and all of our interaction on a daily basis with these large language models like ChatGPT. Our thumbs are so tired, you guys. And the ability to talk naturally with an AI that you might not even realize is an AI at times is really fantastic. And that's what people are looking for, and that's what's solving problems today. I'm going to go ahead and play the first part of this call, and let me know if you can't hear it, but listen to this.
Hello, Martin. This is Betty with Better Mortgage, a trusted partner of LendingTree, calling on a recorded line. I'm reaching out as you've recently shown interest in a home equity line of credit. Do you have
Do you know how quick that was? I literally just hit the button. Wow. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's amazing. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Great, Martin. So I understand you're interested in a $55,000 loan. One of our experienced loan consultants can tailor a HELOC solution that's perfect for you. To do that, we just need to gather some income information about your work. Can you please tell me, are you self-employed or do you work for an employer?
It's a little mix of both. I have a employer that I work with part-time, and then I do a lot of work independently.
Got it. First, can you please tell me how much you make each year?
All right, we're going to pause that there because you hear a couple of different things in that recording. First of all, you hear how quickly the speed to call is made, right? That's milliseconds instead of minutes or hours or days. Voice agents like Betsy, our intelligent AI-powered assistant, can today call leads instantly and engage those prospects. Some can even pre-qualify, capture relevant data, and seamlessly update the loan origination system. So what you also hear was a very nuanced conversation. When Betsy asks about income, it wasn't straightforward. It wasn't $50,000 or $100,000. It was, well, I work part-time and I have a full-time job. And instantaneously, she recognizes that there's going to need to be follow-up questions around those two sources of income and being able to take that information and then put it into the loan origination system directly so that the loan officer doesn't then have to go and ask those same questions again and have a disconnected experience for the customer.
Hello, Martin. This is Betty with Better.
All right. So when it comes to leads, manually calling leads super burns you out. And not only that, people tend to not even be able to do it, right? You're getting leads at all hours of the day. Leads come in nights and weekends when you're at a baseball game, when you're at Costco on a Sunday. So you can't even physically call all the leads in real time the way that you may have heard Betsy call them. And so you need to be able to call the leads in real time, but it's not even possible. Outsourcing it to call centers, hiring a telemarketer, using a virtual assistant, all of these solutions tend to drain the budget and be very expensive, but not doing it kills conversion. But not killing it kills conversion. So it's really important to find scalable solutions here. So the need is for a loan officer to have something that's instantaneous, precise, automated. And here's the big kicker. It has to be integrated. It has to read the information from the file to have an intelligent conversation, to know what piece of information is missing. And it has to be able to write to the loan origination system or the CRM to put that information in there. And having it all connected ensures there's no latency. That's when you hear a really awkward conversation with a lot of delays. Voice AI is instantly engaging, screening, and preparing leads. And this is probably one of the biggest trends we're going to see over the course of this year. Voice AI can today call 400 times faster than a human can, is available 24/7. And I'll say, when we initially did this pilot, we launched Betsy, the voice assistant, back in, I think, September or October. We saw a 320% lift in lead to application rate and a 200% lift in lead to fund rate just by getting there very quickly. It's a huge time save, and it's a great resource for loan officers who want to be on the phone with people who are interested and ready, as opposed to making 100 calls a day, getting no answers, leaving voicemails. All right. Another key trend, and this actually goes back to something I talked about at the beginning, and that is that today's marketing requires more creative, more assets, more videos, more static images, more of everything than ever before. And it's because Meta, Google, TikTok, etc., it used to be where you would target. You would say, oh, this is the kind of person I'm after. This is the kind of audience I'm after. Not anymore. All of that is happening below the watermark. They are creating smart algorithms that put your message in front of the right person. And so you have no ability to target anymore. What you have is targeted creative. And that means I need to be able to talk to you, where you have different needs in the Pacific Northwest working for, Amazon, than somebody who's in, rural upstate New York and, working at a factory, right? So creating hyper personalized creative and creating a lot of it because there's so much wear out. And so today, you know, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than peak COVID when rates were low and a savings message fits absolutely everyone. Today's buyers are entering the market and they're more motivated by life events than by rates. And I think we all know that the life events that people have are varied and wild and different, and everybody's at a different stage and they need different things. So personalized ad sets, hyper personalized by markets, by stage of life, by needs, by loan products, and at scale. But how do you do it all? I mean, when do you have time to write a loan? I don't know. So you can use AI today to do a lot of these things, and there are so many tools. I picked a few of our favorites: Ad Creative, Synthesia, which I've been using for so many years, and Sunday Sky. And with some of these tools, you can actually monitor what your competitors are doing. You can create ad creative, whether it's video or static ads, in just minutes, and create many different versions of it with different sizes. There's a different size you need for LinkedIn, then a different size you need for Reddit. All right, we're just going to quickly walk through this. So this is a tool called Ad Creative, and you can actually type in your company's website address, and it's going to pull in your branding and your colors and your logos and some of your value prop, and you can type in some of the text that you want to put into your ad. It can automatically create that for you, and then it can scale those ads, make many different versions of it at many different sizes. That's just one of many tools available today, and there are a lot of tools. If you don't find a tool that you want that exactly does what you're thinking of, just check again tomorrow, because that's how quickly things are changing. All right, big trend, search. I would say that generative AI, things like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, are really changing things and changing them very quickly. The generative AI category is projected to reach 200 billion by 2030. That's like Hollywood, gaming, and the music industry all combined. And by 2028, that's just a few short years, 50% of search will be driven by AI. So today's search is not search engine optimization as we talked about it a few years ago. It's really answer engine optimization. How do I get discovered in an answer engine if that's where people are searching? So just to share some behind the scenes stuff, I have personally seen our search increase, our referrals from answer engines, from the Chat GPTs and Perplexities and Geminis, more than 184% just in the last 6 months. So that's a really big shift. And that's all happening to all of us right now. So if you go on to Perplexity and you type in, type in some mortgage questions and just see what you find. This morning I typed in which is the best online mortgage lender. I am not disappointed that Better came up first. You guys, that's a win. Give us a clap for that. But how do we get our content there? Remember in the beginning where I said, I'm going to talk about some things that you can do for yourself and some things that your company has to do for you. Well, this is one of those things. It's a little bit two-part, but I would say getting discovered and getting recommended in answer engines really has to be what the company is focused on, because it's very difficult to get an individual person named in an answer engine, but definitely you can get a company named in an answer engine. So you're saying, Jessica, great. So what? Then what do I do about that? Well, there's still things that we can do here, friends. I talked about this meteoric rise, right? How much is happening here in this space? But let's talk a little bit about what you need to do. Like I said, your brand has to be discoverable in these platforms. It is where search is happening. So it's something that you want your lender, where you hang your license, to be focused on and helping the company on. And what can you do today? If you've been blogging, let's say, I know so many loan officers who are phenomenal bloggers and they've had content out there for years. Well, that's great. There's tools out there to help you do that faster and easier. I think everybody at this point knows that they can use ChatGPT to create content. What they may not know is that tools like Write Sonic are a little bit better at creating content for search optimization, number one. And number two, I think not a lot of people realize that when you take content out of a ChatGPT or any other large language model and plop it on your site, Google actually reduces your search results. Google looks at that and gives you a black mark for that. So you want to, what we always say is like, finish the last mile by hand. Wonderful. Use Write Sonic or Copy AI or Jasper or just your ChatGPT account to create the content, but then go through it and humanize it. You want to make sure that that Google doesn't recognize it as being generated by a large language model. We could have a whole session on why that is, but really they want high quality content and they're worried about this kind of like reductive cycle where content is generated by a model and then regenerated by another model. So they need original content. How do you know if you have original content? Well, a tool I love for this is originality.ai. If you want a free tool, there's one called GPT-0 that teachers use to tell if your kids are plagiarizing their content from ChatGPT. So you can take your blog content, plop it in there, get a score, and just make sure if you are going through the time and effort to blog today, that you're getting the credit you deserve for it. All right. Another trend are chat agents. We talked about chat voice. Now let's talk about chat agents. We're back to the thumbs, friends. And this is really revolutionizing to loan officers today. It's in particular really revolutionizing when it's fully integrated. So let's go through what this looks like. All right. I think we all know this world. Lots of outdated manual processes. They cripple productivity. They make us frustrated and we feel like we've lost opportunity and we've lost time, right? I go into my CRM or my lead management system or my loan origination system, and I want to find the information about this customer to have a really good relevant conversation. So I'm looking in a lot of fields. I'm going through documents. I'm trying to piece it all together and make a mental map on what kind of a conversation to have. What we need are human-centered conversations, comprehensive borrower data right inside our CRM or right inside our loan origination system that a chatbot can understand and I can interact with and have a real conversation. So this is available today. And you can ask things like, what's the best script for this lead? How do I handle this rate objection? This customer has a low rate, but a lot of debt. How do I sell this? Why is this loan suspended? How do I restructure this file? I could go on and on and on with the use cases here. But the key is it has to be embedded in the loan origination system. It has to be reading data off of the file. Otherwise, it's just giving you generic information that you could get off the internet or just from your own prior experience. So let's see what this looks like. All right. So what you're going to watch here is I'm asking Betsy, which is our chat. She's both voice and she's chat as well. And I'm asking her for a script on how to overcome hesitation due to high rates. She's then reading the loan file, referencing the borrower's facts and details in it. And so she can actually go in and let me see if I can find a good spot for you here. Yeah, she's actually going in and she's saying, okay, this is their current interest rate. This is the amount of debt that they have. And she's creating a script that discusses the appreciation rates this customer will see in Seattle market. It's very specific, how much equity they'll be able to build, and then being able to refinance down to a lower rate in the future. Then she provides follow-up questions and closing tactics, but it's all based on all the thousands of fields that are right there in the loan file, pulling in and creating a real-time script on how to handle and answer a lead. Really, really valuable and saves so much time. All right, we've got a mystery trend here. I love these. So I don't know if anybody can tell me what all of these companies have in common. Rocket, Mortgage Lenders of America, Bankrate, Sage, NerdWallet, Nextdoor Lending. I don't know, you guys. Anybody have the answer here? The trend is vertical integration. And I would say, okay, you're going to challenge me here, Jessica. This isn't a new trend. This is an old trend. It's as ubiquitous as companies are to begin with. It's been happening since the dawn of time. Well, that's true. That's very true. But it's having an outsized impact on lead generation today, right? So mortgage brands are acquiring lead providers, right? Or lead providers are acquiring mortgage lenders. This goes back a long time. LendingTree acquired Home Loan Center, which became LendingTree Loans. Zillow acquired Mortgage Lenders of America, which became Zillow Home Loans. Bankrate acquired Sage. Last year, NerdWallet acquired Nextdoor Lending, and on and on and on and on. And what it means is that this vertical integration means they keep more of the leads that they make and close them all, and it cuts off the supply of leads to independents. So this isn't anything new. We've been seeing this for a while, and the strategy is really the same here. It's controlling our own lead flow, protecting our own past clients, and moving faster than ever. And I think there's two main solutions here. Join a platform that generates leads for you, but doesn't treat you like a call center and treats you like a business owner, an empowered business owner that lets you leverage that lead as currency for your relationships and growing your partnerships and growing your teams, or create your own lead funnels and do it yourself. These are not new vendors coming out in 2025, but they are still some of my diehard favorite vendors if you want to go it yourself and do it alone. Rebel IQ has so many solutions for websites and lead funnels and online advertising. Verse.ai is great for conversational AI and follow-up. If you're an individual loan officer or a team, and BotSplash, if you're a team or a company, is really great for that follow-up, that automation, and that AI contact strategy. So you can do it yourself today. There are lots of tools available to help you do it and to help you get there. I would be remiss if I didn't say there's also an easy way to do it as well, which is like, yeah, join a platform that wants to help you build your business, has really good lead generation strategies and tactics, knows how to make the sausage, and gives you those leads to build your business and to build your partnerships. All right. Yeah, it's a trend. I would love to say that it's going to change immediately. Who knows? We could roll the dice. We could all, vote on this. But what I would say the big thing for us to think about with rates, we all know the impact. We don't need to go through why higher rates are a challenge for lead generation and for our pipelines. I think the thing to think about here is what the solution is. as rates dip, and look, they're volatile, they come down, they go back up, etc. I think the thing that we need to think about here is how not to miss a single minute when rates dip and how to activate marketing instantaneously. So I think of this as, look, we're not trying to generate a bunch of rate sensitive leads, but the fact is that there is nothing, that the number one question that people ask when they start the mortgage process is what's the rates, right? If you're a career professional mortgage loan officer who knows how to sell on value and the financial wealth that comes from your home, you can take that conversation a different place. But lots of people enter the market when rates go down, and you want to be the first person to tell them when rates move. Not your pipeline, which you want to lock when rates go down, but really the broader customer or the broader lead world, right? So having these ready to go, ready to deploy strategies. Take everything you heard in this deck and get it lined up and ready to go. And as you see a rate market movement, to be able to activate across many different channels at the same time. You have your Facebook and Instagram messaging ready to go. You have your Google messaging ready to go. You have your TikTok video ready to go. You probably have some user-generated content ready to go, etc. So that as you see a market movement, you're not scrambling for how to talk about that and coming out hours later after everybody in your community or your competitors or anybody else has been out there, but you press your go button. All right, so I'm going to recap it. I think there's 10 key strategies if you're starting today on how to think about lead gen in today's world. Number one, build or join a first party lead funnel. And I think it's so important when we think about first party leads. And it's because of that vertical integration I talked about before. The cheese is being moved. I love our lead providers. We have so many great relationships. They're a huge part of our strategy, but generating leads that are branded, that are not acquired leads is really critical, where they are, where the customer is signing up for your brand and you as a person versus just acquiring leads. Number two, automate follow-up with voice AI. Conversational SMS is great. That was like a key strategy a couple of years ago and is still super important. I think the strategy to add on to that, to be additive for today, is voice AI and getting that customer to you in a hot, live, warm transfer when they're ready with additional information in that file. Number three, win the top spot in your near me search. Lots of folks are really good at doing this. This is like your Yelp, your Google reviews, your Google My Business, own and win that top spot. Lots of folks on experience.com, right? Like that can help with your near me search as well. Be a face and not a logo. That is having that video content, building your personal brand and being able to do that at scale with a lot of the AI tools we mentioned today. Another one I didn't mention is one called icon.me, where you can take all of your B-roll, all of your talking head videos, and then mix and mash them up really quickly, really seamlessly. You don't need to be a video editor, just a great tool. Build influence, not in the old way, sorry, Dave Ramsey, but in the new way, which is having your clients and your partners talk about you and also leveraging AI for that user-generated content. Number six, create niche content at scale. Everybody is different and they want to feel known. Number seven, guard your book. And we used to think of this as monitoring your past clients. It's not just that, you guys. It's monitoring everybody who is brand aware to you, everybody who knows your name, even if they didn't transact, even if they came in the door a year ago or 2 years ago and they didn't do anything with you at that time. Guarding and monitoring that book, sending the right message at the right time, monitoring it, not just for inquiry activity, but also life stages, what's going on and when folks are in market. Number eight, out-partner the competition. Refer, refer, refer. I think that strategy number one of building and joining a first-party lead funnel is that is the root that gives you the fruit to outpartner the competition and the way to build those relationships. Number 9, build instant activation campaigns. These should be ready, on demand, ready to activate campaigns that you don't have to think about when the moment comes. You just press the go button. And then lastly, work smarter with agentic AI. So that example that I showed you of Betsy chat in the loan file, it's being able to interact with a loan file, ask questions. Why is this suspended? How do I restructure this file? And then being able to say, great, now go do that. Go send that email, go send that SMS, go, complete that task, etc. So it's not just on the content side, but it's actually having AI agents that do the next thing for you. So I promised it. I said you're going to hear AI a lot in this conversation. I think you will hear it in every conversation, in every webinar, in every conference for the rest of the year. And I don't know if anybody won the Price is Right challenge for how many times I would say AI in this conversation and who gets closest without going over, but it is so critical. And in a high rate, low inventory market, it is our superpower that can turn pressure into profit. And it's a very exciting time to be in marketing, even if you're not a marketer, right? You're a loan originator, you can still be a marketer today. And you can do it without knowing graphic design. You can do it without knowing how to edit videos. And you can do it in 2 minutes on your own. And there are new tools coming online every single day to do more and more things for you. There's never been a better time to be a marketer in the mortgage business. And I hope you guys have fun with it. And that's it from me, Ryan.
Jess, that was incredible. Thank you so much. So team, first of all, I hope you got a ton out of that. I know it was fast and there was a lot there. So the recording will be on our YouTube page and you'll have, we'll send out the deck via email as well. But I want to share this screen with you real quick. I think it's important, one of the things that I'm aware of is as we kind of move into lead generation at a larger scale, can you see my page?
Yeah,
yes? Okay.
we gotcha.
So you guys take out your phone real quick, just scan that QR code. I think we'll drop a link in the chat as well. It will just take you to a form where you can see how many like real-time exclusively like purchase leads are being generated in your market. And it'll just give you an opportunity to have good conversations with your agents and talk about what's possible. Understand that like there's a real opportunity for you and your business to generate independent business there. So definitely use this QR code and it'll take you where you need to go. And then we just dropped the form in the chat as well. So one of the things that I want everybody to understand is that, again, this webinar is building on itself, right? And so if this is the third one you've been to, you're definitely going to want to come to the fourth, right? Because we are going to talk about technology and scale. The challenge in lead generation is, well, what do you do when you get it, right? When you are the generator of, even let's say like 2 decent leads a day on top of your existing business, right? That can add up very quickly, right? You're talking about, 40 plus per month and month over month, because that not everyone's going to react to their transact at the same time. You're looking at 80 over 2 months, you're looking at 120 over 3 months, and you need to follow up with all those people. So having technology and not always having to hire and hire and hire humans is really important. Jess shared a lot of that in the presentation today. I like to be able to go in, use technology in your CRM, use technology in your LOS, understanding that technology, you hear this a lot. It's, probably way overused, right? But it won't replace a mortgage advisor. It will just make it very hard for mortgage advisors to keep up if they don't use it, right? It'll just make it hard to get the information out. It'll make it harder for your clients to communicate with you, because I genuinely believe that the mortgage professional of the future is going to help 50 to 100 families a month, right? They're just going to do about 5% of what we've done for the last 20 years. And that 5% is going to be genius zone work, right? It's going to be dreams and goals calls. It's going to be client consultations, contract meetings. It's going to be business development, right? It will just be influence, education, and growth, right? And if you have the right technology, you have the right scalability, and if you're creating leads at scale, like guys, if you create one of these leads, right, and it turns into a referral to a really great agent, right, like we're tracking, we're looking for anywhere for 2 to 4x return on a transaction. So if I go to Sally, who's a great real estate agent, and I say, Sally, it looks like you've closed 60 transactions in the last, in the last 12 months. And I see that you've referred, over half of them to your lender. Are they giving you any business? Oh no, but they're really good at what they do, and I partner with them forever. Okay, no problem at all. We are generating, 2 to 3 to 4 closed transactions a month in this market, and we are interested in interviewing the right partners to help us. If we could help, give you and your team an extra 2 to 3 closed transactions a month, what would would you be able to refer that business to us, right? And how can we look at a partnership? So this is not like generating one lead for one loan, right? This is generating one lead for 4 loans, and then financial planners that you get to refer those to. And then you get to go to the builder in your market and tell them that you're generating leads at scale and that you want to direct those leads to that community they're building, because it's an awesome community, but you need the builder incentive to do it, right? You need it for any of your organic clients, or you need it for any of your lead generated clients. So you could even get the whole builder partnership, or anytime you come across, you get the same incentive as the actual builder lender, right? This is the power of like getting to the consumer lead generation at scale, is that you just get to flip the way that we have typically, if I'm being honest, been treated as, affiliates in markets, right? It's like, oh, look at all the lenders here, reaching their hand out to talk to all the realtors and the financial planners and all these things, right? So we need to be the tip of the spear. And I'm not saying don't try and get referrals from realtors. I'm just saying it should be a partnership as opposed to a one-way street, right? And that's the message that we're taking to the top agents in every market. We're saying, look, do you have a realtor relationship, or I'm sorry, do you have a lender relationship, or do you have a lender partnership? Because a lender partnership is somebody who adds positive operating income to your business, right? Not somebody who just well and closes loans on time. So Jess, I want to say thank you again for coming on and sharing. This was super helpful. Team, again, click on that form, use that QR code. You'll find out how many leads are being generated in your market. And this is just by one source, right? It doesn't mean that there's not plenty of more, and it gives you an idea of kind of what you can do from a lead generation perspective as well. So if anyone has any questions, I'll hang out for a minute or two. Feel free to drop the questions in the chat. You can drop them in the Q&A. Otherwise, thank you guys for being here, and we'll look forward to getting this recording out. And hopefully we'll see you in 4 weeks on the Technology and Scale call.